Welcome back. A groundbreaking exhibition has been opened at the De Hoop Nature and Marine Reserve close to the southernmost tip of Africa in the Western Cape. The De Hoop collection's origins of early southern sapiens behavior displays evidence of the earliest signs of modern human behavior. The discoveries were made at 3 archaeological sites, namely the Blombos Cave, the Klipdrift shelter and the Klasies river, which was occupied by early Homo Sapiens between 120 and 150,000 years ago. To share more on the exhibition, we joined virtually by Dalfrenzo Laing, Museum Ambassador and Assistant GM of the De Hoop Collection. Very good morning to Dalfrenzo. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Morning, Simpiwe. Thank you for having me, and welcome and morning to South Africa as well.
Great having you on this show this morning. First of all, how was all this exciting information simplified and structured into an exhibition?
Simpiwe, I think it's been building for a couple of years. We knew that the archaeological sites were on the reserve, but collective effort by Professor Christopher Henshelwood, Craig Foster and his team, Sea Change Project, and then also the Web Collection in partnership with Cape Nature. They have put together a groundbreaking exhibition, which is hosted now here at the Web Collection. So that's how it's been coming about. It's been in the pipeline for a few years. But now the last few years has been moving on actually putting the exhibition here up.
And I see there's the bow and arrow that you have on display. What else do you have on show?
Simpiwe, there's a few artifacts which is quite unique. You spoke earlier about the 3 caves, namely Klasies River Cave, Blombos Cave, and then Klipdrift shelter and Klipdrift cave here on the Web Nature Reserve. One of the findings which was found here on the reserve was the earliest bow and arrow, oldest bow and arrow. And then also there was also found it here with us ostrich eggshell fragments that contains crucial communication patterns on them as well. That was founded here on this reserve. Besides that, I think the other 2 caves, Blombos also has significant findings. Shell beads, which was very important as well. And then also the oldest drawing in the world, which was done on a ochre flake. And then also the oldest engraving also done on an ochre flake as well. So that is some of the evidences of Klipdrift shelter and Klipdrift caves as well as Blombos. If you go back to Klasies River, which is the oldest cave, there was even some human remains found as well. So in each cave there were significant findings, and all of that findings and artifacts is actually displayed here on the exhibit here with us.
Let's talk about the multimedia elements that sort of provide insights into the lifestyles and the behaviors of early humans.
Yes, the multimedia which is used, Simpiwe, here in the exhibit, is a very different exhibition in a very different museum, as you can call it, to many other traditional museums. It's actually an audio-visual exhibit or audio-visual museum. Meaning that you have to actually, if you go through the space of the exhibit, you have to actually engage with the multimedia audially and also visibly as well. So that is unique. I think a lot of people that's been coming through the exhibit is talked about that way of displaying information to the public.
Okay.
And that's the way we do it, audio visually. So on screens you have, and then also audio, which we have at each screen as well, which gives an overall experience.
So what does the exhibition aim to highlight in its entirety?
I think, Simpiwe, one of the challenges we have had over the last few years in South Africa, if I'm speaking for most people, that there's a lot of division in our country. From different groups in the country, and the exhibition speaks to a lot of things. It speaks to one of unity. It speaks to one of unification from all parts of the world. It actually speaks to, you can be from Europe, you can be from Poland, you can be from Germany, you can be from France. At some point in time, we all actually originated from Southern Africa. Now, this was a challenge, obviously, around 25 years ago. There was the saying that most of early evidence of modern human actually originated from Europe, and that only dated back roughly 45,000 years ago. But with a brilliant team with Professor Chris Henshelwood and Karen van Niekerk, together with Wits University and University of Bergen in Norway, they've actually turned back time and said, let's go back and we go and look. And the evidence that was founded from that is actually that life don't originate from Europe, but it actually originates from Southern Africa. And the time period goes back to around about 100,000 to 175,000 years. Only in this part of the world. I know that Blombos goes a little bit back between 165 to 170,000 years. So that is what they've been collecting the evidence, to say there is a different narrative to the story. And we all are from Africa. We all are from Southern Africa. So that is the one side of it. The other side of the exhibit speaks to the connection with nature and the power that nature has when you connect with it and what it actually can mean for you. Now, if we go back in time to our early ancestors, how they used to live of the environment, they hunted of the environment, they were sustainable, they moved from one place to the other to not overgraze, to
We have lost Dalfrenzo there. He is the museum ambassador and assistant GM of the De Woop collection, talking to us about, the De Woop Nature and Marine Reserve and the collections of regions of early Southern Sapiens behavior, displaying evidence of the earliest signs of modern behavior.